electric is almost available on the property. One thing I didn't think much about, or I didn't really appreciate its challenges beforehand, was how to get utilities on unimproved land, right? So the 40 acres I bought from Danny did not have electric, didn't have water, didn't have any kind of, septic or plumbing. And that was just, the permits involved with it and the expense I just didn't quite appreciate. So right now, we're getting closer to having electric available. Middle Tennessee Electric put this pole right here. There's a transformer on it. And just to be open about costs, that was a $2,500 fee to just have the pole brought in. Now what happens is, just having the pole on the property doesn't mean it's usable for me. So Justin, my builder, had to use his trencher and his mini excavator to dig a huge trench that's, I don't know, it's about 3 feet maybe. And that depth is set by Middle Tennessee Electric because they don't want it to be disturbed. So he trenched it based on where the electrician suggested that, you gonna make it, buddy? Stop whining, stop. Where the electrician suggested, and you can see that there's a curve here. Apparently there's, they don't want any sharp angles. And George, the electrician, put in this pole right down here that has all of the electric wires in it. And then here is the meter box. And one thing I learned is that when you do a meter box, it's got to be on the exterior of a structure and it cannot be under a roof. I really wanted to have it on the other side of the barn, but because of the wraparound porch, they said no, it can't be under something that's covered. And that would have been nice because it would have been closer to the pole and I wouldn't have to spend as much money on a trench and on equipment. Jake, I know you're upset about the cost, but you need to relax. So this is where it ended up. George put all of the metal in, I think yesterday, and then Justin's gonna come and backfill it after Middle Tennessee Electric comes out and checks it all off. So the next step is Middle Tennessee comes out, says, okay, yep, this is good, or whatever, this needs to be fixed. And then Justin will backfill it. And then George, the electrician, will, I guess, probably install outlets and lights. And we're just gonna do a very, very small package right now because of course, this is, it kind of blows my mind how expensive everything is. And I can't afford to do a lot at the moment, but over time, especially because in the pole barn, there's not like walls that will be enclosed, so it will be easy to kind of add outlets and lights as I can afford it. Here's Miss Baby. And the other thing that we're going to do is on this project. So here's the furnace that the Mennonites put in last week. And the other thing that's important in this initial package, what we're gonna do, and I need to get all these weeds. I sprayed them, but I gotta weed it, and please ignore how filthy this greenhouse is right now. But I want electric to be available in the greenhouse so I can have a light, I can run electric. Here's a fan. This fan needs electric, and so what the fan does, there's 2 layers of plastic on the outside of the greenhouse, and the fan, it's like what they call a blower, and it blows air and it creates this like pocket that will insulate, it will help keep warm air inside. And so when the Mennonites were down here, I also asked them to please put like a curtain up. So the greenhouse is 84 feet long, but with that's about halfway. So when I run heat this winter, I'm only gonna be heating half of it to save me some costs until, the dream is someday it'll be full and I'll have to, be able to fill it all up and it'll make sense to run the furnace. So, I've got to get a propane tank installed too, and that will require electric to run the propane tank and all that. Anyways, yep, always something going on, but this is very exciting. Danny's family has been very, very kind to let me run electric from Danny's house that belongs to Jeff now. And it'll be really good to just be independent and put a little fridge in the pole barn and be able to keep beers cold and have peanut butter and jelly when I'm working and have the jelly cold and be able to plug in a little coffee pot when I'm here. So my guess is probably 2 weeks from now I'll be able to use electric in the barn.